Hello. Good evening, sir. Hello.
Can you hear me?
Sir,
Can you hear me?
yes, sir. Haripriya is an on, sir.
Yes. Yes, good evening. Can you hear me?
Hello, Haripriya.
Hello.
Yes, can you hear me?
హలో హరిప్రియ
చెప్పండి.
వినిపిస్తుందా అండి?
వినిపిస్తుంది.
ఓకే సార్.
Good evening. I'm Sri Krishna, the Python trainer. What exactly the requirement? For the present education you are completed or? Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Haripriya, can you hear me?
Sir.
What exactly you present by IIT, the education qualification?
Yes, sir.
I'm asking what is your education qualification, what is the present status?
Tirupati.
Education amma ఇప్పుడు ఏంటి బీటెక్ బిఎస్సి అయిపోయిందా లేకపోతే whether you are
Second year.
second year? Okay. Any btech which
IT.
stream? Okay, IT only. Okay, fine. Do you have any programming knowledge, any other language?
No, sir.
Okay, fine, no issue. The only thing I am asking is when you have a language knowledge, we try to compare with existing language. Otherwise, everything, even that one, we are going to start from very basics only. So today's class, I am going to explain you. అర్థమైపోతే ఎప్పుడే ఇంటరప్ట్ చేయడం నో ఇష్యూ, బట్ ట్రై టు అండర్స్టాండ్, ట్రై టు బీ ఇంటరాక్టివ్, సో దట్ నాట్ ఓన్లీ టుడే, ఈవెన్ ఇన్ ద క్లాస్ సెషన్ ఆల్సో, ఇఫ్ యూ ఇంటరాక్ట్ with me, I can understand your grasping, so that I can try to give one more example or one more
Okay, sir.
So we are starting from very basics only. The course content, I think you are looking for Python full stack. So first understand what exactly a stack, what do you mean by full stack? Any idea?
Stack. Full stack. No, sir.
Stack ante inda full stack ante inda a word yokka meaning and idea.
Stack. Push operation, pop operation.
Okay, when you are working on data structure, stack is also one of the data structure where you are trying to apply push and pop operation. That technically simply what we call adding an element or removing of element. What exactly in the stack?
I don't know, sir.
Okay, no problem. No issue. మీరు ఆల్రెడీ స్టాక్ అని ఇందా చెప్పారు కదా, పుష్ పాప్ ఆపరేషన్ అని. జనరల్లీ స్టాక్ ఈజ్ నాట్ ఏ టెక్నికల్ టర్మ్ అమ్మా. స్టాక్ ఏ టెక్నికల్ టర్మ్ కాదు, బట్ విత్ ఇన్ ద డేటా స్ట్రక్చర్స్ ఆల్సో వన్ ఆఫ్ ది డేటా స్ట్రక్చర్ స్టాక్ అంటాం. దాంట్లో పుష్ పాప్ ఆపరేషన్ చేస్తున్నారు. జనరల్ గా చెప్పండి, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ మీ దగ్గర బుక్స్ ఉన్నాయి, సెట్ ఆఫ్ బుక్స్ ఉన్నాయి, నోట్ బుక్స్. వెన్ యు ఆర్ ప్లేసింగ్ నోట్ బుక్స్ వన్ టాప్ ఆఫ్ అనదర్, దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ బుక్ స్టాక్ అంటాం. మీ ఫ్రెండ్స్ అందరూ గ్రూప్ ఉన్నారమ్మా, ఏమంటాము? గ్రూప్ ఆఫ్ ఫ్రెండ్స్ అంటాం. ఓకేనా? ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ మీరు ఏంటి, మీ దగ్గర ఫ్లవర్స్ ఉన్నాయి, బంచ్ ఆఫ్ ఫ్లవర్స్ అంటాం. అంటే సెట్ ఆఫ్ ఫ్లవర్స్ ఏమంటాం? బంచ్ ఆఫ్ ఫ్లవర్స్ అంటాం. ఒక సెట్ ఆఫ్ పీపుల్ ఉంటే ఏమంటాం? గ్రూప్ ఆఫ్ పీపుల్ అంటాం. అలాగే ఒక బుక్స్ ఒక లేయర్డ్ ఫార్మాట్ అరేంజ్ చేస్తే దట్ ఇస్ కాల్డ్ బుక్ స్టాక్ అంటాం. స్టాక్ టెక్నికల్ నార్మలీ లేయర్డ్ అరేంజ్మెంట్స్ ఆఫ్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్. అక్కడ బుక్స్ ఉంటే అవుతుంది. దెన్ చైర్స్ ఉన్నాయనుకోండి, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇంట్లో ఫైబర్ చైర్స్ ఉన్నాయనుకోండి, ఆ ఫైబర్ చైర్స్ అన్ని ఒక పక్కన కావాలని ఏం చేస్తాం? ఒక చైర్ పైన ఇంకో చైరు, ఆ చైర్ పైన ఇంకో చైరు, అలా చైర్ పైన చైర్ ఒక లేయర్ ఫార్మ్ పెడితే దాన్ని ఏమంటాము? చైర్ స్టాక్ అంటాం. అంటే సింపుల్ మీనింగ్ ఇస్ స్టాక్ నథింగ్ బట్ సెట్ ఆఫ్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ అలైన్డ్ ఇన్ ద లేయర్డ్ ఫ్యాషన్. ఒక దాని మీద ప్లేస్ చేసి దాన్ని స్టాక్ అంటాం, సింపుల్ గా, అంతకంటే ఏం లేదు. ఎప్పుడైతే మీ దగ్గర 10 చైర్స్ ఆర్ దేర్, వన్ టాప్ ఆఫ్ అనదర్, మీరు ఏ చైర్ తెచ్చుకోవాలి? విచ్ చైర్ యు ఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు టేక్?
ఫస్ట్ పైన ఏం చైర్ పెట్టుంటే
పైన అంటే ఏంటి? టాప్ నుంచి గెట్ చేసుకుంటారు. If you want to place one more chair on the existing stack of chair, you are going to place it on top. మిడిల్ నుంచి రావలేరు కదా, ఆల్వేస్ టాప్ అంటే టాప్ లో ప్లేస్ చేస్తా, టాప్ నుంచి గెట్ చేస్తారు. సో ద నేచర్ ఆఫ్ స్టాక్ ఈజ్ the chairs or object whatever we have, we are going to add at top level, we are going to remove from top level. That way we say first in last out, last in first out అంటారు.
సార్
అది స్టాక్ యొక్క మీనింగ్ అంతే. ఆ స్టాక్ మన క్యూ లో ఫస్ట్ ఇన్ ఫస్ట్ అవుట్ అవుతుంది, స్టాక్ లో ఫస్ట్ ఇన్ లాస్ట్ అవుట్ అవుతుంది. అంతే సింపుల్. అంటే లేయర్డ్ అరేంజ్మెంట్స్ గా ఉంటాయి. Now coming to the full stack point of view, now technology point of view, when you are any modern application, a user interface required or back-end business logic required. So a full stack means we are able to learn the front-end technologies and back-end technologies. The front-end to back-end అంటే మనం కనపడేదంతా front-end. For example, you are seeing something, your Gmail open చేశారు. When you open your Gmail through browser, whatever you see browser environment, your mail information, that is shown on front-end. It may be web application by seeing the browser within the desktop environment, or you may use mobile phone. By using mobile app you may install, you can see that is called front-end application. In a real-time environment, we require front-end application to see the content, and we need to write some back-end application where we need to write business logic. And not only we have to write business logic, we need to store the data. And the back-end business logic kavali, back-end business data anta store cheyali. So earlier days what happened ante oka application create cheyante, when you are creating any application, adi oka online banking avachchu, oka e-commerce application, any application you create, what happens? The multiple components, the multiple application components astamu. Very high level the front end anta mana kanapededi, back end contain back end business logic and database logic. So early days what happened ante, I am the Java developer or I am Python developer, I can focus on business logic. One person who are learning on Oracle or MySQL, a back-end database developer. One person can learn front-end technology like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, they can learn. Everybody, they can do their own work. I am a back-end developer, I never focus on front-end technology, front-end creation. If I am the database developer, my focus on writing on database queries only. I am not focusing on how front-end is going to work out. So everybody doing one part of the work, one piece of work. But now industries are expecting a single employee, a single human resource has ready to work on in any of the application component. Whether you work on front-end, you need to ready to work on back-end. If you are a back-end developer, you ready to work on database queries also. If required, you need to work on front-end application also. That's why you are learning every technology to create a complete application from end to end, from front-end to back-end. So that what exactly in the full stack is, we are going to learn different technologies and different tools and different languages to create complete application. Earlier days, you focus on Python, writing only back-end business logic. Somebody working on HTML, they can focus on their own user interface only. So, but tomorrow, if you join in a company, you may be working on one area only, one layer only you are going to work on. But if required, you ready to working on another layer also. You are not confined to your own layer. So every employee, every human resource is ready to working on any layer. So you are learning every technology and language. So when you working on full stack environment, so out of that front-end environment, we are going to HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and one of the front-end library or framework or AngularJS we are going to learn. But we are focusing on our course is Python full stack. So main back-end logic we are going to write within the Python within the some framework we are going to Django framework. So our course content is going to start with these concepts. So everywhere Python means Python only, one of the language, and also a scripting language, one of the interpreted based language. If you know what is the interpreter, what is the compiler, okay, no problem. Otherwise, I will tell you in the actual class. But today's class, I am just focusing on the course content, whatever we are going to discuss. And today only, again, theoretical only. Every day, practically, we are going to understand one topic, and I can write hands-on examples in front of you, and how to write some basic running notes. I can share you some material also, and the recording also will be shared to you, so that if you want, again, you can listen the class, and I will give you an assignment or task. If you work on the assignment and task, definitely you may get a doubt or error. You need to rectify in the next class. So please be interactive. If you did not understand, let me know so I can follow another approach. Then Python is one of the programming language, a scripting language we can say. Scripting language is also a programming language, but it is not any specific types are required. It is not a statically typed language. We can say dynamically typed language where we are going. Interpreter is a program which will able to convert line by line of your source code when you are running your program. If you have any idea about C language, Java language is there. They are called compiled based. First you need to write the program, then we have to compile the program. Compilation is all about conversion of high-level source code to machine code. The entire source code is converted to machine code. Once machine code or byte code we can say, once byte code is created, then we are going to run. For example, if you are writing C language program, I am going to write .c file. That is called source code. And source code source code cannot run directly because source code I can understand. I am the C developer. I can understand. So system cannot understand directly. That's why we are using a program called compiler. Compiler is also a program or a piece of software or a tool which will convert .object file, and then later we are going to create .exe file. Once exe file created, the exe file will be copied to every system. Wherever you want to execute, in the exe file we are going to execute, we can get the functionality. So compilation means converting high-level language source code to machine language. In Java point of view, high-level language code into the some byte code format. Once application created, that you can download the exe file, you can execute, and one more person can download, can execute the application. When you are working on scripting language, for example, .py file, Python file we are going to write, or a JavaScript, one more scripting language. When you write JavaScript or Python code, Python program can be executed directly without any separate compilation step. They are called interpreter based. Interpreter also a program, but that can convert line by line of your source code. Once line is converted to byte machine code, that machine code is going to execute. So compilation and interpretation. Compilation where high level language code will be converted to machine code, then execution start. When you are working on scripting languages, it is depends on interpreter. There is no separate step called compilation. Execution time itself, each time converted to machine code, and we are going to get output. So Python, one of the scripting language, interpreter based language. So we are going to set up our interpreter. We are going to set up our environment. So I will tell you how to interact the interpreter, how to start the interpreter later on. But we are going to start how to install Python environment. What the interactive interpreter we are going to start. Then any programming language. If you are learning a language, you need to learn basics. Basics on this one. When you talk about English language or Telugu language, where we are going to start alphabet or grammar and basic words we are going to learn. That programming language part of that is called syntax and semantics. So you need to understand what are the rules you need to follow when you are writing program, how to structure our program, that is called semantics. Both we are ready. If you know Python syntax and semantics, you are able to write some statements. The set of statement make a program. So when you are writing a program, we need to learn the vocabulary, we need to learn the basic construct, that where we are going to start the data types, how to create variables, what are the different types of variables and the keywords available, and we have different types of operators available. Everything we are going to discuss from the very scratch. So that initially we are going to write simple program. Later on we are going to extend the complexity to write different example by combining every feature, and every day we are going to increase the complexity. So once you understand the operators, we have arithmetic operators, we have relation operator, we have a logical operator, even we are going to the assignment operator. So one by one we are going to learn. Then so just we are going to write line by line, that we are going to execute by writing a Python file, or by you are using a Python interpreter, an interactive interpreter we are going to use. That's what we are going to see either. If you want, I can take one more class to give you hands-on experience. So then indentation. Every program will create a blocks of code. In the Python, if you want to create different blocks of code, we need to follow indentation. Indentation. What is the indentation? How blocks will be created? We are going to discuss. And string handling is there. And every Python program, it contains multiple statements. Statement by statement will be executed. But if you want to change the flow of your execution, the concept of control statements are available. Maybe a conditional statement like if else, or nested if, or if else ladder, like condition statement available, just like any language. Even C language also has a similar concept, but we have a looping statements available. So one is called while loop and one more is called for loop. Those concepts also we are going to see. By using these concepts, control structure, we are going to write multiple standard examples like pattern and general standard example we are going to learn. Those are very important. Tomorrow if you attend any campus interview, or when you are writing, solving some any problem in the HackerLang or LeetCode like environment. Once you understand basics of the concept, you need to start solving of some of the challenges in framework. So they give you some badges also. I will give you assignments, but apart from, you need to start working on some badges also, so that you can get understanding of practical experience about how we can generate a program. Then later on we are going to start with function, or the different types of function, how the functions can be created, how function we are going to pass default argument. So what is meant by variable arguments, everything we are going to discuss here. Then what is anonymous function, that what we call lambda functions also. How functions can be created like an expression, that we call anonymous function, lambda function. That also we are going to see. Every Python program, whatever you are going to start, is basically called Python module. If you write some a.py file, it contains a top statement. That's called one module. In a single project, you may create multiple Python files. That each Python file is called one module. How to create modules, how to reuse the module, how to import, and how to access modules, one module to another module we are going to see. And there's a concept of package also available. What are the different modules already we are using every day? How to create our module, how to create packages, set of modules grouped as one package. We try to use existing modules and packages. We are also create our own modules, our own packages. Later on, we are going for the data structure. You know, earlier I told you data structures is all about organizing of your data, so that depends on the functionality you are working on. I need to insert or delete or update, or I have to query the data. Depends on the context you are working on. So stack is the one data structure, queue is one data structure already we are implementing, but Python has some built-in data structure to organize your data that is called list concept, tuple, set, dictionary is available. These are the standard generic data structure directly supported by Python. You can make use of these data structure, or you can extend these data structures also to create your own application requirement. Once we understand, we are going to see file handling, even exception handling concept. Whenever you are creating program, not only save data in the program level, you need to persist. Persist means permanent way of storing. You are giving data today, tomorrow I want to see the data. For that one, we are going to create files. How to create a file, how to read a file, how to work with the binary file, how to work with the text files. Those concepts we are going to discuss while working on file handling. How to create directory or how to read the directory files also we are going to see. Then exception handling. So in general, we have three categories of exception happen. One is called syntax error. Second one is called runtime error. That what we call exception. Some errors are called logical errors. So when you are getting any runtime error, that error needs to be handled without terminating the program entirely. That what we call exception handling. There are multiple keywords available. How to make use of those keywords also we are going to discuss. So there is one more concept called regular expression. Regular expressions are the pattern. On pattern you are going to create to validate your input, to set something like, for example, I have email is there. Somebody given email ID ABCD. ABCD not a valid email because of every email contains some set of character, some @ symbol, some set of character, domain name, .com, .org, something like format is required. So if you want to validate a string based on the email pattern or some phone number pattern or any other user ID pattern, we are going to create some string by following some structure that is called regular expression. How to create a regular expression, how to validate or how to test, how to search for a given string based on the expression we are going to. This is very much important, even the Python environment point of view, even JavaScript point of view, because of always searching and even something like replacement also required in every application. So Python is a language, a scripting language, which also supports object orientation concept. When you talk about Java, Java is, we can say, completely object oriented programming language. But Python can support object orientation also. Nowadays, mostly we can use object orientation feature when you are solving business application. Business application, so what are the class, what are the object, what are the object orientation principle, the object orientation feature, how we are going to implement in Java, we are going to learn earlier. You may have, or we are discussing on Python. Because object orientation is important, so the concepts are important. Now we are going to see implementation within the Python. So what are the different initial method, what are the constructor, what are the dunder method. There is a concept called dunder methods available. Double underscore method. We have magic methods, are what we call magic methods also. That everything we are going to see. The polymorphism, abstract classes, the concept of duck typing, monkey patching. There are important terminals available. Each thing we are going to discuss one by one. Then, by using existing data structure like list to tuple, we are going to learn how to implement stack data structure within the Python. That also we are going to learn. This is basically called core and advanced topic about Python. Once we understand this concept, we need to talk about databases. What is the database? What is the relational databases? What is the Oracle? What is the MySQL? What exactly meaning of SQL? The SQL language we are going to learn. SQL language contains different types of man, DDL, DML, DCL, TCL commands available. Everything we are going to discuss. Aggregate function join. These are very important. Your campus placement of you. Maybe today or next year. Maybe next year or the coming year, whatever you have. These are very important. If you are a developer and a programmer, you are ready to write basic queries, including joins. Once you understand SQL and MySQL environment, we are going to integrate Python application with the database, the database connectivity programming, how to connect it, how to execute CRUD operation. CRUD means create, read, update, delete. When you have student data, you need to create structure, you need to read it, you need to update or delete. The main operation we can perform on any database. For the XML and JSON format also we are going to see the about database. Then we are going to see one API. API means a library of function. So how to create graphical user within the Python also we can see. For example, if I want to create one calculator, like calculator. So how to create calculator like application by using Python. For that one, we have tkinter is one library available. So how to include that library, how to create user interfaces within the Python environment, we are going to learn. Apart from, we are going to learn some different packages which are required when you are working on data analysis. Tomorrow you may go for data science like environment or machine learning like environment where you need to process with the data. Not only we have a basic data structure, we have a different package available, numerical Python, scientific Python, Panda, Matplotlib, different libraries available. Those libraries we are going to learn to understand for data analysis or data presentation, visualization, all of us also we are going to learn. Here we are going to see very basic functionality. So because our focus on working on complete full stack application, web application, so that we are going to get overall view of Python different library for data analysis. Then later on we are going to see MongoDB. Initially we are learning relational databases. Not only relational databases, we have a concept of NoSQL database available. One of the NoSQL database called MongoDB. The query API we are going to learn. Some Git or the Git is the one tool we are going to use as a developer. If you are a programmer, if you are an employee of company, a team of people working on in a collaborative environment, they need to use the different tools. Git and GitHub like environment also we are going to learn. Then later on, one of the major important thing called Django framework. So when you are creating web application, not only we create simple HTML, CSS, JavaScript we are going to learn, we are going to create backend logic we are going to write to create dynamic web application. A browser you are typing one URL, you need to handle the request, you need to communicate with database. Finally, how to do response. For that one, Django is the one web framework of Python that we are going to learn. How to install Python Django project, Django how you are going to install, and how to create our project, how to create apps within the project, how to work with the static files, how to create a model, views, URL. There are so much of terminology existed here that we are going to learn one by one to create a web application by using Python. Because of Python full stack, where backend technology, backend logic we are going to write within the Python only with the Django framework. These are the concepts, everything we are going to cover. Some you can understand what the meaning of each and every topic, why it is required for that one. And one more important thing is Django REST framework is required to create web API, or we can say REST API. So there is a concept of REST, representational state transfer. There is a concept of web APIs available. What is the web API? Why we require web APIs? First we are going to understand. Then we are going to learn implementation of web API. These things we are going to learn. Then HTML, CSS, we are going to learn in depth of HTML, CSS, and Bootstrap is called front-end toolkit. Then JavaScript. Earlier days, JavaScript used within the web page to get some dynamic content within the browser. But nowadays, still we are going to use within the environment how to work with JavaScript language, how to write some code that will automate, that will enhance the features of a web page. For dynamic content, we are going to learn. There are multiple topics available, everything we are going to discuss. Here also, we are going to an object-oriented feature, how to communicate server also we are going to discuss. Then one more important thing called React.js. It is called a library for creating user interfaces. The concept of single page application is there. What is single page application? Why we are creating single page application? What are the components we are going to write? Everything we are going to learn. So these are the topics we are going to cover that make you a full stack Python. So దాంట్లో మన జావాతో పైథాన్తో స్టార్ట్ చేసే ఫుల్ స్టాక్ పైథాన్. Initially we started the Python concepts only. Later on, step by step, we are going to learn from database concept or integration of database concept, web framework with web technologies and backend database connect. Everything we are going to see one by one. Okay. ఇది కోర్స్ కంటెంట్ అమ్మా. ఈ కోర్స్ కంటెంట్ మీకు షేర్ చేస్తారు కావాలంటే you can refer it again. You can ask me any question you have regarding when we are learning the course one by one. But మీ ఇనిషియల్ ఫోకస్ అంటే ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ లాంగ్వేజ్ క్లారిటీ రావాలి. ఆ ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ లాంగ్వేజ్ నేర్చినప్పుడు మనం రాసే సింపుల్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ అయినా some స్టాండ్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ అయినా you must be understood. Don't try to by heart the program. Try to understand the syntax. Try to understand the flow what I am writing here, so that tomorrow you can generate some code for a given requirement. Emma, what exactly మీ requirement మీరే ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ చేస్తున్నారు? What type of guidance you require from my side?
సార్
ఏమో ఫాలో అవుతున్నారు ఏమన్నా?
అవుతున్నాను సార్.
అదే మీరు ఇంటరాక్టివ్ గా ఉండి ఇప్పుడు నేను అర్థం అవ్వకపోతే అడిగితే ఐ విల్ గివ్ యూ సంథింగ్ లైక్ సజెషన్. నాట్ ఓన్లీ టుడే టుమారో తర్వాత క్లాస్ అయినా సరే అప్పుడు యూ కెన్ లెర్న్ సంథింగ్. ప్రాక్టీస్ చేస్తూ ఉంటే బాగుంటుంది.
ఓకే సార్.
So that tomorrow you can write some code, even a campus placement or maybe somewhere you want to get a job, that more helpful to you. Multi knowledge course also. Once you attending this class means you are ready to understand, ready to write a program after by completion of this course.
ఓకే సార్.
దీంట్లో multiple case studies implement చేస్తాం. So while working on web application, we are going to implement one complete e-commerce application. You know, every e-commerce application contains product view and cart management, order management. Those features we try to implement so that you can get hands-on understanding and implementation. మీకు ఏంటమ్మా, మీకు ఏ టైం కుదురుతుంది ఎవ్రీడే?
ఈ టైమే ఓకే సార్.
ఓకే అది. సో ఇప్పుడైతే థియరిటికల్ గా నేను జస్ట్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తాను, బట్ ఎవ్రీడే ప్రాక్టికల్ రాస్తాం. మల్టిపుల్ ఎగ్జామ్స్ వీఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు మీరు రాస్తా. నేను కొంచెం ఒక టాపిక్ చెప్పినప్పుడు దానికి కావాల్సిన బేసిక్ రన్నింగ్ నోట్స్ నేను చెప్తా ఉంటాను. ఇఫ్ యు ఆర్ రిటర్న్ ఐ విల్ వెయిట్ ఫర్ సమ్ టైమ్, దెన్ ఐ విల్ రైట్ ద ప్రోగ్రామ్ by explaining what the purpose we are running, what syntax it is, how logic has to be generated. Because the program anybody can return. First you need to understand the requirement, the problem statement, then you have to form an algorithm. Then later we try to apply syntax of Python. That way we have to learn. So no need to by heart any program. Only thing is you need to remember some syntax only. So logic needs to be generated on the fly. So that the approach whatever I am following, the standards whatever we are following right now is more important. So that tomorrow if you write a program, somebody will validate that's why a better program.
ఓకే సార్.
ఈ కాన్సెప్ట్స్ నో ప్రాబ్లం. ఈ ఫుల్ స్టాక్ లో మొత్తం కవర్ అవుతాయి. దీంతో పాటు మనకి వాట్ క్లౌడ్ అంటే ఏంటి, హౌ వి ఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు యూజ్ క్లౌడ్ సర్వీసెస్ for different types of purpose, for storing data or deploying your application. As live lo play chestam manam by using cloud services like AWS, Azure. At AWS ante enti, Azure ante enti, what cloud computing I will give you overview also, so that whatever the small application we are going to create that can be deployed into the deploy means placing your application at runtime. So whenever you are creating your application, that may be in your system, but that needs to be run on a public server. When you place that server, that your application on public server for live environment, they call production deployment, so that we are able to see anywhere from the globe. So we have some services which are freely offered from 1 year or some up to some grades by Amazon company or something like or Microsoft or maybe a Google. So we try to use their services to host freely whatever the application we created, so that you can able to put in a resume. So you can showcase your skill or showcase your knowledge to anybody by placing your code or by placing your application in the cloud services, by using cloud services.
Okay, sir.
Any other questions, Amma?
No, sir.
సో మీకు ఏమైనా ఫర్దర్ డెమో కానీ మళ్ళీ ఎవరికైనా సో బట్ ఇది కోర్స్ కంటెంట్ అది చెప్పినట్టు ఇది ఎవ్రీడే లైవ్ క్లాస్ సో కాబట్టి మీరు ఇంటరాక్టివ్ ఉంటే నేను ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేయగలను.
ఎన్ని మంత్స్ ఉంటుంది సార్ ఈ కోర్సు?
ఇప్పుడు ఈ కోర్స్ కంటెంట్ టాపిక్స్ అని ఒక ఎవ్రీడే క్లాస్ కండక్ట్ చేస్తే 1 to 1.5 hour క్లాస్ ఉంటుందమ్మా. జనరల్గా 4 months పడుతుందమ్మా.
ఓకే సార్.
4 months పడుతుంది. దాంట్లో మనం 1 or 2 days అని స్కిప్ చేస్తే కొంచెం అయ్యే ఛాన్స్ ఉంది. ఎందుకంటే చాలా టాపిక్స్ ఉంటాయి. బికాజ్ మనం జావా స్క్రిప్ట్ నేర్చుకోవాలి, HTML నేర్చుకోవాలి, CSS నేర్చుకోవాలి, ఈవెన్ SQL కాన్సెప్ట్, పైథాన్ కాన్సెప్ట్, రియాక్ట్ ఫ్రేమ్వర్క్, రియాక్ట్ లైబ్రరీ ఎన్ని ఉన్నాయి కదా. బట్ ఏంటంటే మీరు ఒక్కొక్కటి స్టెప్ బై స్టెప్ మీరు ఎప్పుడు ప్రాక్టీస్ చేస్తే నాట్ సో బర్డెన్ టు యూ. ఇప్పుడు ఓన్లీ థింగ్ సింపుల్ ప్రాక్టీస్. మీరు ఒక 1 hour క్లాస్ ఉంటారు, 1 to 1.5 hour క్లాస్ ఉంటారు. But depends on your academic schedule. Try to practice at least ఒక half an hour స్పెండ్ చేస్తే కొంచెం పని చేస్తే డౌట్స్ ఇంకేనా ఎక్కువ సాటర్డే ఇంకేనా ఫ్రీగా ఉంటే కొంచెం ఐ మే గివ్ యూ మోర్ గైడెన్స్ ఆన్ సాటర్డే ఆల్సో ఇఫ్ రిక్వైర్డ్. సో దట్ మీరు నేర్చుకుని ఫస్ట్ మీరు పైథాన్ బేసిక్ చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్. పైథాన్ ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ నేర్చుకోవడం ఇంపార్టెంట్. దెన్ జాంగో ఫ్రేమ్వర్క్ అవన్నీ మీకు రోజు మన వాట్ ఎవర్ ద అప్లికేషన్ ఎవ్రీడే యూ ఆర్ యూజింగ్. ఫ్లిప్కార్ట్ యూజ్ చేస్తున్నా, అమెజాన్ యూజ్ చేస్తున్నా, జీమెయిల్ యూజ్ చేస్తున్నా, ఎవ్రీడే యూ ఆర్ యూజింగ్ ఫీచర్. దోస్ ఫీచర్ వి ట్రై టు ఇంప్లిమెంట్ విత్ ఇన్ ద జాంగో ఫ్రేమ్వర్క్. అక్కడ మీకు లాంగ్వేజ్ కాన్సెప్ట్ ఓకే అయితే జస్ట్ వీఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు ద న్యూ లైబ్రరీ, న్యూ ఏపీ అంటాం దాన్ని. ఆ ఏపీ నేర్చుకుంటూ వెళ్తారు. దెన్ జావా స్క్రిప్ట్, దెన్ ఇంటిగ్రేషన్ ఆఫ్ ఫ్రంట్ ఎండ్ టు బ్యాక్ ఎండ్. టెర్మినాలజీ ఇంపార్టెంట్, language features are important, and the approach, the way we are solving the some problem for a given requirement is important.
Okay, sir.
I would my end today. So, any other questions?
No, sir.
Our team feedback immediately so that they can plan the session, so that we can start session as soon as possible.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.